All right. Peter Schiff sees oncoming destruction while everyone seems happy about the good times, quote unquote, ahead. Is he right? Well, I'll let you know very, very shortly. But first, if you're new to this channel, please hit that big red rectangular subscribe button down below. Also, please hit that like button. It helps to get this economic evangelism out there to the masses, bringing more people into precious metals. Okay, so here is a quote from the latest from Schiff Gold. A tsunami of defaults and evictions looms on the horizon. And I quote, according to the latest available numbers from TransUnion, about 3 million auto loans and 15 million credit card accounts are in some kind of program to let people skip or make partial payments. And NPR contends this number is probably understated. Meanwhile, homeowners are struggling to make mortgage payments. According to the analytics company Black Knight, 4.75 million homeowners have entered into forbearance plans. That represents about 9% of all mortgages. Banks and credit card companies can't let people off the hook on payments forever. Some smaller lenders are already hurting. American Financial Services Association President Bill Himpler told NPR that finance companies need a government conduit so they can borrow money themselves. If we can't keep the lights on because things have seized up, it's not good for anybody. It's not good for the customer. It's not good for the company. It's not good for the economy. When the moneylenders need to borrow, that might be a problem. July will be a key month. That's when the enhanced unemployment benefits will end, and that could tip things into full financial crisis mode. Many of the 40 million plus Americans who have lost their jobs over the last 2 months are only able to keep up with payments because of these benefits. Okay, so small lenders need money, A, and B, unemployment benefits will end for some in July. Okay, let's keep note of that. Now, this comes from Cooley.com. It's documenting the CARES Act and some of its stipulations. Here is one of the key stipulations. The borrower, so these are companies that take some of these loans, the borrower must, until September 30th, 2020, maintain its employment levels as of March 24th, 2020, to the extent practicable, and not reduce its employment levels by more than 10% from the levels as of that date. Now, that is a harsh stricture. I shouldn't say harsh stricture, but that is a tough stricture for many of these companies, especially small businesses who are bleeding, who have a high burn rate as is and have very low margins. So that's just another thing to take note of. Another key month to watch out for is also October, because of also the CARES Act as well. So we have July and we have October as far as months to pay attention to. And let's take a look at what I'd like to see call a canary in the coal mine, and that is the state of Georgia. They've actually been reopened for about a month, and I believe that the way that this state has been operating will be a tell for the rest of the company or of the country as they begin to slowly reopen. Now, here is an example of a business, a beauty business that's been open for a while, and this comes from the Atlanta News Now. Now, here's a quick quote from them: facials, waxes, nail, and skincare. It's hard to get much closer to a customer than Paris Campeau gets to clients at her boutique spa. But after 2 months of the crisis shutdown, Indigo Wellness in Kirkwood is reopening. Campeau welcomed a few clients this past week, and on a Monday, she's bringing back 4 of her 11 employees. 4 out of 11. That's pretty wild. The spa also has new rules for masks, contactless payments, mandatory appointments, and scarce refreshments, all aimed at keeping workers and customers safe because the issue hasn't gone away. Still, a long way from business as usual. Let's see how it goes, Campos said. Indigo is emblematic of the Georgia economy 1 month after Governor Brian Kemp ended shelter-in-place orders and allowed almost all businesses to reopen if they followed safety guidelines. Optimistic and opening up, but bearing added costs with a leaner staff and fewer customers, and plenty of unanswered questions. Okay, so as far as a reopened economy looks, we have Georgia here, and we're starting to see some tepid behavior from people who are living in Georgia, even as the state has reopened. So the million-dollar question or questions, I think, are how long can the country sustain contraction at that level? I'm talking about this level where people are feeling tepid about going out and about into the economy. I think another question is how will unemployment fare during this time? So let's see where we are right now when it comes to unemployment. So today's Thursday, some economic data came out as far as unemployment is concerned, and jobless claims. Total unemployment level worse than expected. Weekly jobless claims totaled 1.877 million last week versus the Dow Jones estimate of 1.775 million. Not too crazy, not too far off, but still it is more than what was expected. Continuing claims rose sharply, hitting nearly 21.5 million. Oh, wow. That ad started to play. 21.5 million in a sign that workers are being called back to work slowly. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Initial claims since early March top 42 million. So we're above quarter of the workforce. Now remember, the workforce is roughly around 157 million workers in the US. Now about a quarter of that have filed unemployment claims since March, which is pretty crazy. So we have continued unemployment, yet it is starting to begin to slow down. Obviously we had our peak in the very beginning of this, and it's starting to trend down. Um, you know, but I mean, it's pretty expected that that would happen. So it's with this information and the assurance of reopenings that we get things like this, which is the Dow Jones in the green and above 26,000. Yeah, it's actually trending upward, and it's been trending upward for some time, and we're above 26,000. Um, Now, as far as this is concerned, the Dow Jones and equities markets, a lot of these indices are very forward looking. So with continued unemployment trending downward, and also with the reopenings beginning to happen in various phases, we have a very, horse blinder index within the Dow. They only see what's coming ahead of them. They're not seeing all of the destruction around them. That's already kind of baked in to the Dow. They're very forward looking. This is seeing unemployment numbers week after week is nothing new to the Dow. So that's one thing to take note of. And it's not necessarily a thing to be worried about when you see that. And one of the things to also take note of with all of these reopenings is silver. So with these reopenings, you're going to get, as Investopedia says, silver ETFs shining amid rising industrial demand. Just going to read the first paragraph here from Timothy Smith. Industrial demand for silver continues to increase as countries cautiously reopen their economies after several months of the issue shutting down their economies. COMEX silver futures closed Friday at $18.76 to register a gain of nearly 24% in May, the commodity's biggest monthly percentage jump in nearly a decade. So we're starting to see silver bounce back amidst all of these reopenings. So what do I think about all this? Well, I think that equities investors and short-term, I'm stressing that very highly, short-term silver traders need to be very wary and on guard because things could change without you realizing it, just because we're living in a very almost landmine economy right now. Again, July could be a crazy month for the economy. It could catch some people off guard, some investors off guard. October could be another one. So there are a lot of landmines that we have to avoid. And when this happens, you have to be ready. So I hope that those of you who are into short-term silver trading, more so than equities traders who are watching this channel, I hope you guys are very aware of that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We're not out of the woods yet, obviously, but let me know what you guys think. Thanks again for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new. Also, please hit the like button. Thanks again. It's Black Bullion.